I think you might have noticed that we have mentioned Financial Fest a number of times here because it's our big event of the year coming up on the 14th, Saturday, at the JW Marriott Desert Ridge. And you're going to have a chance to talk to so many fascinating, knowledgeable people about so many different things. This is different, though, than anything you've heard before. We have a couple of gentlemen joining us this morning, Mark Boyd, Executive VP at EFG America, and Don Carroll, who is Executive Vice President of Investor Relations. Good morning to both of you.
Thank you.
Good morning.
We're going to talk about something that may not be as exciting as you think it is going to be, and that's rubber. And there's a lot of it out there, and I've learned a lot of stuff about what goes on with rubber. First of all, once you make it into tires, it's going to stay tires forever unless you come up with some magical formula to change that.
That is true, Ken. What happens is in the process of making rubber, it's the inclusion of sulfur, heat, and temperature that makes the product. And in that process, it becomes what they call vulcanized. And it's a one-and-done product. Once those tires are vulcanized, that's it. It's a thermal set material.
Now, we know that some of the freeways around the area are a lot quieter now because they have ground-up tires mixed in with the asphalt. That's not really recycling, though, in the sense of putting it back to where it was from nature.
That is a great use of the product. Unfortunately, it's not enough to cover the need we have for the tires coming off the road.
EFG America has this facility in Houston that can take that tire, for example, and bring it back to the way it was naturally, or devulcanize it, in other words, and then redo it so that it's usable as rubber again. Why can't you just grind it up and mix it together without doing that?
Because once it's thermal set, once the sulfur has been introduced, those create cross-links within the molecular structure of the rubber. That's what gives rubber its structure. But getting that or taking that apart or severing that bond is very difficult to do. And through a proprietary chemical process, we actually precisely sever the bond of the sulfur within the molecular structure of the rubber, which then releases the rubber and makes it back into its virgin form. So it can be used to make new products.
And it's worth noting that you are the only company in the world that's doing this.
Right now, currently, we are the only company in the world that is producing a finished product that is completely devulcanized and in a virgin form. In fact, the properties of our material, we get 100% devulcanization or severing of the crosslinks within the molecular structure of the rubber, and an 85 to 95% of the virgin properties. And that's the critical aspect of what we're doing, because those products can then be introduced into new rubber products.
And there are landfills all across the country just piled with thousands upon, well, millions perhaps of tires out there. Now, you're going to be at Financial Fest. You will have a booth so people can stop by and ask questions. But you are also going to do a couple of presentations. And even though we have a limited time now, Don, give us an idea of how your investment has turned things sort of upside down.
With our model, the investor gets paid first, unlike the traditional investment where the investor is paid last, if paid at all. We pay a minimum return of 12.5% with a huge upside potential because our investment is tied. The investment is tied to revenue. And as our revenue grows, so does the return.
This is a growth industry for sure, obviously. And how long have you been doing this now with your company?
Well, it's taken about 15 years to develop the technology, get it to the stage that we're at now. In the last 2 or 3 years, we've been able to get all of the facilities set up with our commercial production line and start producing our material this year. So this is the first year that was kind of breaking ground and taking this material to the market. We have multiple customers that we currently have purchase orders with that we'll be delivering material to. And we're excited about where we're headed and how long it's taken us to get from here to there, but we're excited about it.
Speaking of excited, I think a lot of our listeners are going to be excited when they stop by to see you at Financial Fest. We have Mark Boyd, Executive VP, and Don Carroll, who is in Investor Relations. And both of you will be there, and there will be 2 presentations, or you can stop by anytime during Financial Fest at the booth where you're going to be located. This is fascinating technology. It's environmentally friendly, to say the least, and you ought to check it out. EFG America at Financial Fest. Thank you both for being here this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.